everybody, and welcome to this special on Mars going direct in Gemini. So Mars has been in retrograde for about 11 weeks. It does this about 24, so every 2 years to every 2.5 years. So the next time it's going to go retrograde is in January 2027. So yeah, I'm Amani. I'm a karmic, holistic, astrological life coach, and I like to go in depth in all that I do, and all of my interpretations, especially when it comes to Venus, Mercury, Sun transits and everything really, are based on Vedic astrology, which is based on where the planets or the luminaries, which are the Sun and the Moon, are any given time in the sky, and all times are in GMT time as well. So yeah, thanks for listening. And yeah, this year Mars goes stationary direct from the 24th of February at 3 a.m. in the morning GMT time, and it goes direct in Gemini, and then on the 2nd of April at 8:59 p.m. it moves into Cancer, while also direct, because it's going to stay direct now for just under 2 years. So yeah, so as I said, when Mars goes direct, this starts in Gemini in the 23rd degree, Sabin degree, which has the Sabin symbol, 3 fledglings in a nest high in the tree, so 3 baby birds, right? And this Sabin degree rules the head of the humerus, which is the upper arm bone. So now I'm just going to go through the pros and cons and best use of Mars going direct in Gemini. Then I'm going to go in depth about what it means for Mars to go direct in general, the karma of that, how it affects our relationships, career development, and all that good stuff. Okay, so this is just the short version coming up. So yeah, Mars in Gemini going direct is like our brains are suddenly getting like a turbo boost. So think nitro on the car, right? Fast and Furious and all of that. So we can experience more mental clarity because Mars is going direct out of retrograde, although it's still in its shadow retrograde period for about a couple of months. But you know, we're slowly getting back our mental clarity. The brain fog will be lifting, at least the brain fog Mars in retrograde brought anyway, and our thinking will be sharper and faster, and communication can become our superpower, and our words can just really have an impact and pack like a punch right now. So it's time to speak our truth, but we just need to try and speak it nicely because our words can be cutting at the moment. We can really be more curious to learn new things. Our curiosity is on fire. We can be like going on a learning spree, wanting to learn this and that, and we can just be like, bring it on. You know, we want to learn new skills, we want to do new things, we want to multitask and juggle multiple projects. This energy allows us to do that. The Sabin symbol, you know, with the fledglings, the birds in the nest, is telling us that it's time to spread our wings and try new things. It's time to level up our, you know, our game in our personal, professional life, and any ideas that we've been working at, you know, can really take flight if we take the daily action to, you know, bring our visions, our dreams into reality. But in terms of the negatives, as we got to keep it real, because this energy, you know, Mars energy can be really intense, and it's in Gemini when it goes direct, so we just need to watch out for information overload, taking on too much, scrolling through too much TikTok-y and all the other social media. You know, our mind might be racing, so we have to take breaks from any research that we're doing. Our energy can be scattered, you know, our focus might be tricky, so we have to try and prioritize our tasks and do them in the order of importance, and don't forget the everyday stuff, right? We can just sort of like, you know, this Gemini energy brings verbal diarrhea, so we can overshare. So we have to just remember to think before we speak, asking ourselves, is this really the time and the place? And, what about the other person's or people's boundaries, as well as making sure our boundaries are protected as well. And it can just make us feel restless as well. Our energy levels can be all over the place, so we just have to find healthy outlets. Remember, Mars is our motivation drive, so physical exercise, making love to yourself and others, all of this, burning off the excess energy, doing weights, jumping around, screaming, So the best ways to use this energy is to start the projects, or any projects, anything you've been putting off. Have those important conversations you've been avoiding. Sign up for a class or workshop that excites you. Network and connect with like-minded people. Write down your ideas, as they can be really golden right now, as Jill Scott sings. And remember that the head of the humerus, the upper arm, is all about reaching out and grabbing opportunities. So, don't be shy, stretch out those wings of yours and allow yourself to really vibe with the Mars energy by doing arm exercises, even though later on I'm going to go more into the physical health and psychological and spiritual health implications. But yeah, some gentle stretches or weight training, as I mentioned earlier, mindfulness practices to keep that Gemini energy grounded with meditation or deep breathing, journaling, channeling, writing our thoughts onto paper or voice noting them to ourselves, vlogging, whatever you do, to avoid mental, psychological, emotional overwhelm. Go on nature walks, connect with high tree energy of the Sabian symbol, so going with places with trees and stuff like that, a lot of open air. And the Mars direct energy for the next 2 years is all about growth, communication and taking action. So yeah, all in all, the Mars and astrological green light pushes us to pursue, go after our passions and speak our truth. So we must open up our wings and fly, and remember that we've got the universe backing us as well. So yeah, that's the short version of what to do when Mars is going direct in Gemini. If you want the longer version, listen on. So now I'm just going to go into the general pros, cons and best use of Mars going direct regardless of the zodiac sign. So Mars going direct, as I said, gives us this energy boost. So imagine your motivation levels getting like a Red Bull energy drink size boost. It wants us to take action, go after those plans and start putting in the work on those plans we've been sitting on. It's really go time. It's telling us go, 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 but in a steady way. Our self-confidence can increase. We can feel like we can take on the world, and it acts as like a personal cheerleader, pushing us to go after our dreams and chase them with renewed energy. The universe is giving us a big thumbs up to go ahead and do the hard things we've been putting off. But on the negative level, we can be impatient as well. We might feel like everything's moving too slow, so we just have to take deep breaths, and chill out a bit, and remember it's slow, steady, daily action that wins the race. Perfecting your skills. We can also be more aggressive as a collective in speech and action. Our tempers might be on the sort of foods, so try not to hulk out on people, go crazy and, cause more arguments. Respect other people's boundaries, assert your boundaries, and we just also have to watch out for burnout as well, because all this energy, we can just push ourselves too hard. So remember, it's about working hard, yes, playing hard, but resting hard as well. And the best use of this energy is to focus on your biggest goals asking yourself what you have been procrastinating on. Stand up for yourself, because this Mars direct energy gives us the courage to set boundaries and to stick to them. Get physical, start a new workout routine or try a new high energy sport, and take calculated risks as well, because Mars loves us when we dare and just really push ourselves to our limits, but as I said, taking the rest as well. So to use Mars direct energy, practically crush your to-do list like a boss. Keep a to-do list, tick things off. It really does make you feel better. That's something I'm focusing on this year, to make sure I write the plan down, stick to the plan and tick it off. It allows us to be really good with job interviews, any kind of interview, putting ourselves forward with newfound confidence, and we can tackle those home renovation projects that we've been putting off, anything like that. But negatively, we can just rush into decisions without thinking them through. So, strategic planning, write things down. Don't be afraid to refine goals and rework them. Watch out for overcommitting yourself, because you can feel invincible right now. You can push too hard and this can alienate others, So in terms of financially, the financial meanings of Mars going direct, we can just be more bold in investments and be more bold, whether it's our money, our time, or any other of our resources, our energy. Putting our resources in the right sort of like things can pay off big time, especially when it comes to our finances. We can have the energy to start the side hustle or continue the side hustle we've been dreaming about. We can have the confidence to ask for that raise we deserve or go after that new job or new opportunity. But negatively, we just have to watch out for impulsive spending on things that we don't need, taking financial risks without the proper research, and being too aggressive in negotiations as well. In terms of the political meanings, political leaders, authority figures can take more bold, courageous, staring action on important issues. They can engage more with the public and in the political or any other authority processes, and they can, some leaders may have the courage to stand up against injustices, right? But negatively, there can be a heightened increase political tensions and conflicts, especially in conversations about politics and authority and all of that. People can make impulsive, rash decisions and abuse power, and people can just be aggressive in their rhetoric, their talk and what they say in public kind of chat, that divisive speech. A lot of that is going on in the world as it is. So yeah, in terms of the materialistic, social, collective meanings, it's a good energy to use to work with our communities and families and on our relationships, especially, teamwork in projects can gain speed and momentum, progress can be made. Collective energy can be focused on positive change, but negatively there can be an increase in conflicts in social settings. There can be an increase in competitive attitudes, because this energy wants us to go after our goals, and some people may be going after the same goals of each other, and this can cause division. So just try and be polite, as you go after what you want. There's ways of going about things, so we can do it the aggressive ways, but the saying goes, smile on the way up, because on the way down, you never know what sort of enemies. So make sure you're nice and you care for people, because you may be up 1 minute but you can be down, and the people that you put down when you was up may retaliate against you and like your downfall instead of trying to support and help you. So just remember to use this energy for good, whether we're crushing our goals at work or standing up for what's right or making moves in our personal lives. Remember, Mars has got our back, but we just have to remember to take the chill pill now and then, and just chill out and just watch our words. In terms of the psychological meanings, positively, increases our productivity, and it can help us let go of procrastination. And because our psychological energy can get a boost as well, we can just feel like we've kind of just chugged down a gigantic espresso or any other drink, some beer bob or ginseng drink that's giving us some energy. It increases our motivation, as I said. It allows us to make clearer decisions as well, and it's like acting like our brain's personal trainer on a psychological level, pushing us to level up our mentality, our belief systems, the way we go about things, and it wants us to, tackle our tasks with determination and slay our goals, and it gives us the power to do that. But negatively, again, impatience can really get in the way. Our foods may be shorter than usual, and wanting to push people out the way. Imagine you're trying to move fast and there's just lots of people walking slow and you just nudge them, so yeah, watch out, be mindful that some people are going slower than you, and that's okay, and you should go slower as well. Watch out for the burnout, as I said. Remember to take breaks, watch out for aggression, and make sure you channel and use this energy for productive things as well, like a high intensity workout or something like that. In terms of the spiritual meanings, it can just give us more spiritual courage, and we can be ready to face our inner demons like a boss. It increases our spiritual drive and our quest for, new information and upgrading our knowledge and our mentality, the way we think and go about the world. It's really on fire right now. We want spiritual newness. We want to get into alignment, and it allows for alignment of our will and spirit, so of our thoughts and actions as well. Our actions and beliefs can sync up beautifully, so it gives our spiritual journey a nitro boost. It's like the universe is giving us once again a spiritual energy drink, asking us to go forward and conquer our inner playground, our inner world, our feelings, our emotions, learning to manage our strengths and weaknesses. But negatively, there can be like a potential for spiritual impatience. Remember that enlightenment wasn't built in a day. There can be a risk of spiritual ego as well, letting that spiritual knowledge go to our head, thinking that we know it all and we figured out the universe. But the trick is to know that we can never know it all, right? The one thing we can know is that there is something higher than us, but exactly how that works and what that is, yes, we can know some of the secrets, but we can't know it all. So we have to sort of also watch out for conflict between our material, everyday desires, and our spiritual desires, and we just have to remember that it's all about balance. So in terms of the esoteric hidden meanings, it can reveal hidden truths. So there can be some major aha moments, I get it, or oh my gosh, I didn't know that, or information that upsets you for some of you, but remember, you've got this, you can handle this. And then a lot of the time they say the truth hurts, but the truth can also set us free because we know where we stand, and then we can sort of like build our world around that, right? We can adjust our thinking to that truth. It can activate our energy, like Kundalini energy, and it allows us to manifest. Our thoughts can be like cosmic magnets right now, so choose your thoughts and actions rightly, because the thoughts are a good thing, but we must back them up with action. And it sort of like turns lights on in a dark room of esoteric knowledge, really just showing us things that you've been avoiding for years or not been able to learn or grasp or understand for years. You can understand them now. Some of you may suddenly see symbols everywhere and signs like the Da Vinci Code. But negatively, this overwhelming influx of hidden knowledge can really once again make us feel stressed. So again, make sure you take breaks and only take on the information that you can handle. There can be a potential misuse of occult powers, and remember, with great powers come great responsibility, Spider-Man style, and we can just get lost in esoteric and conspiracy and other rabbit holes, so don't forget to come back to earth occasionally and ground yourself. Grounding is really important. In terms of the symbolic creative meanings, it gives us a kind of explosion of creative energy. Our inner muse is on speed dial and always picking up, so it's really time not to play it safe. It's time for us to allow our inner Picasso, our inner artist to shine, and it gives us the ability to bring our ideas to life. So we have to watch our imagination because it can become reality. So again, choose your thoughts wisely. It's really injecting cosmic steroids into our creativity right now. It allows us to think outside of the box, but also build whole new boxes and new lifestyle choices for ourselves, thought choices. And some of you may paint in new colours that don't even exist yet, so at times when we get new information, it can be deflating, upsetting, or frustrating when other people don't understand and get us. But remember, sometimes the knowledge is just for you, and it doesn't matter if others get you or not, as long as your ideas, you ground yourself in reality, you take practical action, because that's how we know our idea works. We try and bring it into reality, and this is how we know to let go of the ideas that are just fantasy and to work on ideas that can actually become reality, Again, negatively on the creative level, just need to watch out we don't burn ourselves out creatively. Watch out for overly aggressive creations and art, not everything needs to scream, look at me, sometimes be subtle. But for some of you, you may, because sometimes when we have to stand up for ourselves, or through the medium technique of art and stuff, sometimes it's best for it to be shocking, but we just need to watch out if our results don't match our vision, because this can lead to frustration. But we just need to remember that the world wasn't painted or made in one day, so just to chill out a bit and pace yourself, be gentle with yourself. In terms of the emotional meanings, it gives us increased emotional courage. We can be ready to face our feelings head on. It increases our passion in relationships. So some of you may experience some fireworks in the romance department. It allows us to gain more emotional clarity, and our emotions can get an upgrade, and everything can just feel more vivid and more intense right now. But negatively, there's a risk of emotional outbursts. Our feelings might come out like a shaken soda bottle, and this can lead to conflicts in our relationships, because all of this passion, all of this impulsiveness can lead to conflict, right? And clashes in personality, because as I said, everybody may want to be on boss mode in their lives, and we can just feel emotionally exhausted as well. Feeling all the feels can be tiring, so remember to recharge and do things to not sort out the emotions, but to balance them out as well, So Mars direct, again, remember it's all about action, passion and drive, motivation. It's a powerful energy that can push us forward in all areas of our life, and the key is to use this fiery energy without getting burnt. So now I'm going to talk about the aspects that Mars makes when it goes direct this year, and these aspects are going to flavour Mars's direct energy astrologically for the next 2 years, until when it goes retrograde in 2027, then direct, and will last us up until when Mars goes direct again around March. And Mars's direct energy, these aspects energy, will last until when Mars goes direct again in March, April 2027. So yeah. So the first aspect is the moon is in opposition to Mars. So this adds to the energy and passion and motivation and the courage to face our emotional challenges head on. It allows us to be open to intense, exciting experiences, but negatively it can add to the emotional outbursts and conflicts and impulsiveness that might lead to regrets later. So we just have to make sure that we channel this energy into physical activities, hitting the gym and the DIY projects and all of that we've been putting off. Mercury also makes a trine to Mars, so this allows us on the psychological level to have quicker thinking and sharper, more on point communication skills, more confident in expressing our ideas and opinions, and it's a great energy for problem solving and strategic planning. But negatively, there can be a risk of us being too blunt or argumentative. It can add to a potential for mental restlessness, and we can use this energy to tackle, do challenging tasks or have more meaningful conversations that we've been avoiding, and our words can just have extra power right now. Mars also makes a trine to Saturn, so Saturn's bringing this grounding energy to the next 2 years of Mars being direct, right? It allows us to, it pushes us, supports us in reaching our goals. It gives us that increased structure, the need for routine and discipline and endurance, perseverance, get up and go and keep on going after any obstacle. Adds to the ability to use this energy productively, and it allows us to work steadily over the next 2 years on our long-term plans. In terms of the negative energy, we can be a bit too serious and things can feel a bit too emotionally, psychologically and spiritually heavy, so we just need to watch out for being too hard on ourselves and others as well. But the best use of this energy is to work towards long-term goals, make a strategic plan. Forget if you think, keep on trying, these things taking me 5, 10, 15 years. This is the time, sometimes, it takes a while to make the finest wine, Mars also makes a square to Chiron. So again, although this aspect is like stubbing our toe, and we can discover that learning to fly can be painful, but with hidden superpowers which this Mars square Chiron is giving us, it allows us to heal through action. So actually doing things can help healing those emotions, so we must do the inner and shadow work, but just actually taking action can be really good and help us deal with our psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds. It gives us the courage to face our vulnerabilities, our weakness, our traumas, right? It allows us to be empowered, especially in our problem solving, our inner warrior represented by Mars and our inner healer represented by Chiron are teaming up here. So imagine you're in a video game. This aspect is like unlocking a new healing ability for your character, so you may have to fight some tough bosses, aka our inner demons, but the XP gain is worth it, because we get to level up, right? But on the negative end, we have to watch out because it can reopen old wounds that we thought were healed. So we just need to be gentle with ourselves and practice healthy self-care. We can be overly aggressive in our reactions to pain as well. We can get frustrated with the time it takes to heal and the fact that old wounds that we thought we got over are opening up. But remember, sometimes healing isn't a straight line, it's a circular process, and I've had to learn this, and I know it can be frustrating because I'm like, I thought I dealt with that already. But what I've learned is sometimes revisiting. Yes, we must stop, we must not always ruminate, but sometimes revisiting things even several times, we can open ourselves up to new levels of information about that life lesson and new healing as well. So as we, navigate this energy and we feel the sting, the pain of our past hurts, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what can I learn from this, and turn your pain into cosmic wisdom if you do this. If you stay with yourself and you be gentle with yourself. Mars is quintile to the South Node. It's like a past life power up. It allows us to be open to some past life realness with a side of let's do this, so we can unlock hidden talents from skills from past lives or skills from earlier on in our lives that we stopped using. We can have access to them right now. They can just sort of pop up like unexpected TikTok trends. It allows us to be more intuitive with our action. Our gut feelings can be on point right now, so we can trust this cosmic GPS. It kind of fast tracks us on the karmic level, so we can speed through some soul lessons, especially those of you with a lot of like Mars, Aries energy, 8th house, Scorpio, Pluto energy, 1st and 7th house energy, or aspects to those houses in your natal chart, or planets in the 1st house. You've got that planets in the 1st house, in the 8th house, or even the 12th house, so it's sort of like the universe is sliding into our DMs with cheat codes from our past lives, and suddenly we can really do well at things we've never tried before, and it just really motivates us to try new things. But negatively, we can just have sort of like karmic replay. Watch out for those why does this keep happening to me moments, and we all get over it. I can fall into it, it's human nature sometimes, especially when certain things happen, so just watch out for that. Also adds to the impulsive decisions. Remember, just because you were a queen or king or important in the past life doesn't mean you should max out your credit card and tiaras now. We all have to go through all lifetimes, from the poor to the king, that's my take on it. So it allows us this energy to level up our soul game and keep the skills that bring joy, and thank the rest of the skills, if it doesn't bring you joy, thank them for their service and let them go. And these aspects are similar to different instruments in a celestial orchestra, in a song, different beats like duk duk. You know what I'm trying to get at. And just imagine that Mars is the conductor, setting the tempo and intensity, and the key to harmonize these energy is to use the Moon Mars opposition to motivate your passions, but stay mindful of others' feelings. Let Mercury's and Mars's trine sharpen, improve your communication skills, especially when you're expressing your desires. The Mars-Saturn trine can help us be more disciplined and focused and set those routines, those nightly sleep and waking habits and eating and exercising habits and working habits that can help us reach our goals, and allow Chiron's energy to help us tap into our inner healing potential and gain that past life wisdom, and just allow yourself to instinctively know how to handle situations that trip you up. Some of you can get deep insights, and this can lead to major breakthroughs in how you assert yourself and stand up for yourself and deal with conflicts. But remember, once again, with great power comes great responsibility and sometimes confusion, right? You may feel like you're playing 4D chess with the universe at some times. Yes, this can be exciting, but it can also be overwhelming at times. The key is to stay grounded, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to take bold, courageous action, and just remember that you have got this, and it's time to sail into try new things, especially when it comes to your self-discovery and healing. And remember, it's all about the balance, okay? So also at the time of Mars going direct, there's a T-square that affects the energy. We've got a first T-square, which is a mutable one between the Moon, Chiron and Mars. So the Moon in Sagittarius brings like our emotions, take them on a wild adventure, seeking truth a meaning, like it's the last slice of pizza at 3 a.m, right? Siren in Pisces allows us to swim deep in our feelings and allows us to patch up old hurts with a spiritual band-aid. So doing things that are spiritual and psychological, so self-help techniques, seeing a therapist, being your own therapist, doing Tai Chi, introspection, inner work, shadow work, things like that, spiritual practices can really help you throughout these 2 years. Mars is direct, and we just need to watch out for doing too much with this energy, but it does allow us to multitask like a queen or like a boss, you know. So this energy affects Mars going direct by our emotions. Once again, can be an emotional roller coaster. We may be motivated by a need for emotional freedom and healing, and our heart can play hopscotch with our decisions. Just really, getting us all over the place, but it's doing this to get us to think and to change, refine ourselves as well. It can lead to communication overload. We might find ourselves word vomiting our feelings in a million different directions, and it can be like what filter, so again, make sure you watch out for other people's boundaries. It allows us to have a spiritual side hustle, or there can also be a push and pull between wanting to take action and needing to heal. So it's like trying to meditate while running a marathon, which you can do. You can refine that, to stay aware of your inner self, no matter what crap or what wildness is going on in the world, and there's always some crap and wildness going on in the world, right? And it just allows us to engage in some creative problem solving and learning new things as well. Our minds can be like a sponge right now, and it just reminds us to soak up that knowledge without getting burnt out. There's also a second T-square. It's a fixed T-square between the Sun, Ascendant and Jupiter. So we've got the Ascendant in Scorpio. So we can just become more intense in our persona right now. People can come across more intriguing and complex. The Sun in Aquarius gives us that energy to innovate, right? Think new things, do new things, think outside of the box and rebel, get out of our comfort zones and break away from the status quo, from conforming, from traditions, right? Jupiter in Taurus allows us to grow and expand and build big, and get practical, tangible, touchable results, So in terms of how this energy affects Mars direct, our actions can feel torn between our public image, personal goals and material desires. It's like we're playing 3 different characters in the one show of our life. We can sort of like shake things up while also crave security as well. So it's like I want change but I also want to stay in my comfort zone, so we need to balance this energy as well. It's like the astrological equivalent of wanting to start a revelation from the comfort of our couch, our settee, our chair, so we have to try and put ourselves out there slow and steady. I get it. Some of us like to work behind the scenes like I do, so I totally get it, so it's not about totally, not being who you are, but allowing yourself to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, and it just allows us to rebel slow and steady. Our actions and thoughts can be more calculated if we work with this energy deliberately, even when we are pushing our boundaries, if we make a plan to do that, so think of this method as a sort of strategic chaos, so the best use of this T-square energy is to make solid concrete plans for your wildest dreams. It's time to build a solid foundation for your castle in the sky, So bringing all these T-squares together, it can sort of feel like a DJ that keeps changing the beat, with the mutable energy wanting us to change and the fixed T-square wanting us to stay fixed in our flats, in our work, in our comfort zone and stuff, helping us to revel and euthanize without losing balance. So to work with this energy, embrace the chaos, but keep one foot on the ground. Let your actions be guided by both your head and your heart. Don't be afraid to set things up and have a game plan. Heal as you go. Every step forward is a chance to leave old wounds. And remember, sometimes it can be like taking 10 steps backwards and or 100 steps forward sometimes and a million steps back. You get what I'm trying to say. So Mars direct is like sort of like having rocket fuel in our veins, giving us the power to make big moves, but make sure you're pointing that rocket in the right direction, allowing yourself to dance with the stars and allowing Mars to lead the way, your motivation to lead the way, and it's time to show off your unique moves to embrace yourself, So now I'm just going to talk about the karmic meanings and lessons. So karmically, this is like self-assertion 101. Mars energy is all about standing up for ourselves, as I said. It's time to learn how to speak your truth without setting the whole room on fire, because remember, this aggressive energy can make us like, whoa. So that's why the second karmic lesson is anger management. Have you got a temper? Even if you don't normally have one, you might do under this energy. Mars direct is acting like our cosmic anger management coach. It's time to learn to channel that fire into something productive, like maybe kickboxing or competitive baking. It gives us the courage to act. Remember all those times you've chickened out? Well, Mars remembers too. So it pushes you to be brave and take action, even if your knees are shaking. And believe me, a lot of the times when I'm recording these and doing other stuff, I can be anxious, but sometimes we just have to feel the fear and do it anyway. It wants us to think about healthy boundaries. What are they? It's teaching us that no can be a complete sentence. Learn to set boundaries without feeling like you're being a total buzzkill. We can't always meet other people's needs. We have to at times put ourselves first. In terms of past life memories and dreams, it can be like hitting a defrost button on your past life freezer, and we may start experience further dreams. Don't be surprised if you start dreaming about epic battles or standing up to bullies. Your inner warriors waking up. You may have dreams where you were really brave, remembering times in this life or past ones when you were super courageous. So use these memories as your personal hype reel. In terms of physical sensations, pay attention to the random aches and tingles, especially in your muscles. These could be echoes of past life injuries or activities. You can also experience deja vu moments as well. So you may find yourself in situations that feel really familiar. Trust your gut feeling. It can be, your past life wisdom trying to help you level up, In terms of the collective karma, people can just sort of become more assertive globally. There can be more movements and protests where the collective is finding its voice and isn't afraid to use it. It's a really good energy for conflict resolution as well. Old grudges between nations or groups may come to a head, but there's also a chance for real resolution if we play our cards right. Real change can happen if we are willing to work and be open to it, taking on everybody's opinions and views and trying to find that middle ground. It allows for environmental action, wanting us to, care more about the planet and think about on the personal level the improvements you can do to help, Mother Earth last, and there can just be technological breakthroughs as well. There can be some major innovations. We can see advancements in areas like space exploration or renewable energy. So now I'm going to talk about how Mars direct affects our relationships. So in terms of our family relationships, it allows us to keep it real at home. giving us more energy for family activities and bonding time, giving us the courage to address, to confront long-standing issues head-on, the motivation to make positive changes in the home. But negatively, there can be increased likelihood of arguments or power struggles, impatience with family members, quirks or habits. There can be a risk of being too blunt or aggressive in communication. So the best use of this energy is to channel it into family projects or friendly competitions. In terms of friendships, your friendship circle is about to feel the heat in a good way, mostly positively. There can be more enthusiasm for social activities and adventures. There can be more of a courage to deepen friendships and have real talks. There can be a more focus, giving you energy to support friends in their goals and dreams. There can also be, on the negative, a risk of competitiveness or jealousy, impatience with flaky friends who cancel plans, possibility of heated debates or disagreements. So use this energy to plan epic group friendship activities, or start a fitness or any other challenge with your besties, and remember to listen to them and be aware that sometimes we have to cancel plans, but there's ways of going about it. Make sure you give people as much notice as you can, and try and understand when people may need to cancel plans. But if someone's doing it a bit too much and you set your boundaries about this and they refuse to accept your boundaries, your boundary could be just let me know or apologize, sort of thing. And if they're unwilling to do that, maybe you want to rethink the friendship. In terms of co-worker relationships, increases our productivity and motivation in team projects, gives us the courage to speak up in meetings and share ideas, the energy to tackle challenging tasks together. But it can bring potential challenges. There can be a risk of workplace competition, where things can turn cutthroat. There can be impatience with slower paced colleagues. There can be a possibility of conflicts over leadership or decision making. So the best use of this energy is brainstorming sessions or team building activities, and remember to get creative with it. In terms of committed couples, it can really turn the heat up in our committed relationships. There can be increased passion and sexual energy in the relationship. There can be a courage to confront relationship issues and grow together. There can be a motivation to pursue, go after shared goals and dreams. But negatively, there can be an increased risk of arguments, or power struggles can become more intense. There can be impatience with a partner's habits. There can be a possibility of becoming too demanding or aggressive. So we should use this energy for adventurous date nights, trying new things in the bedroom if you're both into it, of course. In terms of hookup relationships, casual connections can really be on fire under this energy. There can be an increased confidence in going after your casual encounters, being open to them. Can be more energy and enthusiasm in our sexual experiences. It gives us the courage to communicate our desires and boundaries clearly, but we just need to watch out for becoming too aggressive or pushy. To our impatience can, with the chase or dating games, there can be a possibility of mistaking lust for deeper feelings. We can, just be casual cool, so we have to be cool, yes, but remember to keep it respectful and consensual, no matter how spicy that Mars energy gets. Don't get caught up. Make sure boundaries are stuck to, and you respect yourself and others' boundaries. In terms of those who are single and self-partnered, it can increase our confidence and self-assurance. It can give us the motivation to go after our personal goals and passions, and the courage to put ourselves out there and try new experiences. But negatively, we can become too impatient or aggressive in dating, possibility of coming on too strong or doing too much in new relationships. There can be a tendency to be overly critical of potential partners, so we should use this Mars energy to level up our self-care game or start that passion project that we've been dreaming about. That's the best thing to do if you're single or self-partnered, and we should use this energy wisely. No matter the relationship, our passions can really be ignited, increase, and our confidence can also increase and soar. Remember to keep it cool when things get heated. Walk away. It's best to do that than to say things that can be hard to take back, right? This will allow us to navigate these cosmic waters like a pro. In terms of our career development, as I said, our hustler moods can get activated, so we can have a lot of energy to do the things we've been putting off. Ask for that promotion we've been eyeing, start that side hustle we've been dreaming about. Negatively, we can be too aggressive in our approach. We can get burnt out by taking on too much, and it can just bring conflicts with co-workers and bosses as well. So we just need to remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't let that Mars energy make you into our office Hulk. In terms of personal development, we can find ourselves finally sticking to that workout routine, confronting personal issues that we've been avoiding, taking risks and stepping outside of our comfort zone, but negatively we can push ourselves too hard, too fast. So it's remember slow and steady, implementing habits step by step, one by one, day by day. We can become impatient with our progress as well, and we can neglect our self-care in pursuit of our goals. So remember, personal growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress and looking after and nurturing yourself. Even though Mars does turn us into a bit of a self-improvement drill sergeant, we have to be gentle with it, loving this wins the day. In terms of our spiritual development, it gives us an increased motivation for meditation, yoga or anything like that, the courage to explore new spiritual paths, and the desire to take action on our spiritual insights, feelings, impressions, dreams, visions. It's like Mars is handing us the keys to the energy kingdom, so let us use this energy wisely. But negatively, we have to watch out for spiritual impatience, becoming too aggressive in the way that we share our beliefs, neglecting practical matters in favour of spiritual plans and pursuits. Remember, even Buddha had to eat, so don't let Mars make you forget about your earthly responsibilities while you're chasing your nirvana, and this is really important, and note to myself as well. So in terms of educational development, Mars going direct, as I said earlier, gives our brain a turbo boost, so it allows us to learn, grow and conquer new intellectual things, territories. We can find ourselves really grasping and tackling and understanding challenging subjects with more ease, more easily. Finally finishing that online course you started 10-15 years ago, going after your higher education or professional certifications. But we just need to be careful of taking on too many projects at once again, becoming frustrated if we don't learn something quickly, neglecting other areas of our life in the pursuit of knowledge. Remember, even Einstein took breaks, so don't let Mars turn you into a study zombie. In terms of self-partner development, the focus here is in loving yourself like a boss. It's time to date yourself and fall in love with who you are. And even if you are in a relationship with someone else, just do this. I believe all of us should love ourselves. We're all human, we all have made mistakes. We live in this world, and even forgetting our individual traumas that we may have experienced experience heartbreak, rejection, abandonment, this world can be, a bit crazy and wild to live in sometimes. So we should always love ourselves, and I know it can be hard to get to that point, but this is, one thing I profess in all the content I create, knowing yourself, learning to manage all of your temperaments, because we've all got different shades and moods, So yeah, if you're self-partnered, you can find yourself going after your solo adventures, traveling, doing things with more confidence, setting and enforcing healthy boundaries, investing in your self-care and personal growth, but negatively watch out for becoming too independent and isolating yourself, being overly critical of yourself and others, neglecting meaningful connections with others. Remember, self-partnership is about balance. Don't let Mars turn you into a lone wolf when you could be part of a pack, especially if it's a pack that's in alignment with who you are, So, yeah, Mars going direct really does light a fire under us and our goals and push us towards our goals. If we really want to go after them, we can really be unstoppable right now, but we just need to make sure we give ourselves that chill time, and allow ourselves to slowly but steadily conquer our worlds, our inner worlds, our emotions, our spiritual and psychological needs, and manage our physical and financial needs as well. So now I'm just going to talk about the best things for creative and other people to do when Mars is direct. So if you are more of a creative soul, channel this energy into starting that passion project you've been putting off. Experiment with bold new artistic creative techniques. Work with other creatives for mind-blowing results, In terms of professionals, ask for that promotion you've been eyeing, go for that new job, launch that new project, learn that new skill, network like a boss and make powerful connections. Entrepreneurs, launch that new product or service, change, revamp that marketing strategy, take calculated risks to expand your business, Alternative healers, develop new healing techniques, host a transformative workshop or retreat on or offline, attract clients who are ready for deep healing work, So yeah, for couples, plan adventurous dates that get your hearts racing, have those deep, honest conversations you've been avoiding, spice things up in and out the bedroom with new experiences. If you're single and self-partnered, update your dating profile with confident and authentic pictures. Try a new hobby that puts you in the path of potential partners. Focus on self-love and personal growth to attract the right match, So yeah, so now I'm just going to give you some questions about the different areas of your life that can really help you focus this energy. So in terms of financially, ask yourself, are you being bold enough with your money goals? Ask yourself, where can I invest my energy to increase, boost my income? In terms of questions to help you check in with your emotions, ask yourself, how can I express my emotions more assertively? What past hurts am I ready to let go of? Do I need to work through issues of heartbreak, rejection, abandonment, low self-esteem and stuff like that, In terms of your spiritual awakening and development, ask yourself, what spiritual practices align with your energy right now? How can you use your spiritual insights to make positive changes in the world and in your life as well? Asking yourself, what are the first steps I can take to make my spiritual visions a reality? In terms of psychological questions, you can ask yourself, what are my limiting beliefs that I'm ready to overcome and challenge right now? You can ask yourself how I can use my psychological strengths to achieve my goals. In terms of your physical health, you can ask yourself, how can I channel my energy into a new fitness routine? Ask yourself, what habits can I change to boost my physical health, and by working with and using these questions, they can really help you, go after what you really want, direct your energies wisely, and to stay focused, So yeah, everybody, that's the end of this very in-depth guide on what to do when Mars is going direct. And Mars typically stays direct as it goes through the different zodiac signs for about 2 years to 2.5 years. So yeah, I'm Amani, your astrological karmic life coach. Take care and see you next time.